Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music, and I'm here with another Gizmo Sunday, and this is Piano Evolutions from Sonixinema. It's a Swiss Army knife of piano instruments. Crazy, uh, giant collection of piano-oriented samples. You've got normal or normal piano sounds as well as felted sounds, muted sounds like maybe holding your finger on the string while you play a note, plucked like perhaps you plucked it with a hairpin like the Beach Boys, and then percussion sounds, a whole set of percussion sounds, thumps, knocks, wooden sounds, slightly metal sounds. Listen, on top of all that, you've got the ability to map each of those to your keyboard if you're so inclined. Fascinating, right? As well as a very complicated and useful, you might call it a sequencer that will allow you to get, sort of percolating rhythms as well. Let's go home again. And then here, this crazy, beautiful Evo engine, which allows you to kind of like move around this three-dimensional space to create different tones. Well, listen, that's a lot of talking and just a quick look at the interface. You could make a whole cue or two or three or maybe a movie with this one instrument. Let's play some patches. I think that might be the best way to go into this. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to play a bunch of patches. I'm going to turn off the mic and go forward, but quickly, let's look at what we've got on offer. So simple articulations include combos like we have the normal piano sound plus a felted sound into some reverb, distant or not. And we can also down here control the mix. This is great. This looks familiar, doesn't it, from another another developer, right? As well as levels of atmospheric pads and stuff like that. Again, a rather familiar way of creating an interesting piano sound that's pretty thick. Well, all of these articulations are available, and then simple ones like this, right? So it might be fun to listen to those by themselves. And then I'll hop into sound design, which will include some great rhythms and evolutions. All right, let's get to it. I'm quickly popping the mic on to mention that the sounds, I guess you might say, secondary sounds that you're hearing, including the player sounds, um, articulations from the hammers dropping, raising, pedal sounds, etc., are all built into the instrument. My mic's off, you're not hearing any room noise at all. Now, there is a good amount of, I guess you might just say, mic noise sometimes when you build up a bunch of voices running at once. You might hear a little bit of air, a little bit of noise in there. I think that's normal on these kinds of instruments, but it's something to notice about this instrument. It hasn't been noise reduced within an inch of its life. It feels pretty lively. All right, let's continue. Well, here we are back again at the beginning, and now you know a lot more about this instrument. If you've watched everything, the normal and felt are articulated. You can see they're panned left and right a little bit. I have individual volume controls. I can reverse these too, super fun, right? Great for pads, etc. And I can set them to however long I want it to be. It's tempo synced, right? Ah, so cool. Maybe one goes backwards, one goes forwards. Let's see, that goes forwards, that goes backwards. Mix controls for the microphones as well as for the background atmospheres. Pads, so nice. Basic EQs, envelope generator, effects, which as you saw on the Evo engine, I'm allowed to put on each of the different articulations. It's worth mentioning for those of you who might be interested in creating complicated patches that each of these um, articulations can be mapped to specific ranges of the keyboard, right? Super useful. I only want it to be at the top or whatever, right? These kinds of things come in very, very handy when you're doing complicated live performances. It may not be so important for recording, but like let's imagine, say, some percussion in just the right hand while you play a bass muted sound in the left. Cool, no doubt. Um, well, Sonixinema's given us a a great contender in a pretty saturated field for complicated piano patches, and I think it's a pretty useful instrument. I'm especially happy with the artifact noises from keys and um, pedal and the sort of player loop. Maybe it was a little bit too loud in some of these basic sort of presets that they've given us, but it's simple to put them down because it gives us a lot of life and vitality in a recorded MIDI piano sound to have that kind of thing. And honestly, it really felt quite lively to me, and I'm looking for that kind of thing in a piano patch. Well, I hope it's been useful looking at piano evolutions from Sonixinema. My thanks to them for sending it my way. Like and subscribe, ding the bell to be notified when I do my videos, and I'll see you guys next time.